Crypto, Bitcoin, took a shit. It's over with. See you later.
Did you get the hot tour? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Film Hustlers. David, Dave, Rod. Who's Rod? I wanted to come back and have some fun today because it feels like everyone's been really sad.
We went home sad.
Everyone's very sad.
What happened?
I don't know what's happening.
The truth about independent filmmaking has been revealed.
Well, there's some guy on Instagram telling everybody what's happening. And now he's reviewing movies and Christmas movies. I saw that. That was very funny. What's the guy's name? He's called Producer
Bob or something.
Yeah, Producer Ann or Producer...
Not Producer Ann.
No. It's a guy.
It's a guy.
I forget.
Well, Producer Rich or Producer Mitch or whatever. Now he's reviewing, and apparently he knows what's happening. But I just want to thank our sponsor, our partner, ExtremeMusic.com. I'm working on a new Christmas movie with these guys, and I started licensing a song from Extreme Music already, and we don't start shooting. Producer Patrick. And we don't start shooting a movie until March 14th or March 24th.
4.5 weeks.
Yeah, 4.5 weeks out. I already had to go to ExtremeMusic.com, pick my song. We're going to do a karaoke thing. So I picked a great Christmas song, Angels We Have Heard on High. And we're going to use it as the karaoke song in the movie. So ExtremeMusic.com for all your music needs. They're amazing. Don't forget to use them. Now, you guys introduce our guest.
Rod, what you got, buddy? Give us an intro right here.
I got Producer Patrick on the phone. he rates movies.
It's all over. Run.
You know who he is, don't you? The world famous Adam Speigelman.
What's up, Adam?
What's up, guys? Did you have Rod do it because you guys weren't sure of my name?
No.
I had no idea. I was going to call you Fazools. I didn't know.
I wanted to come in with AKA Fazools.
Fazools. You currently work at Access Hollywood.
Yes.
Are you a producer?
I'm a producer. I'm a coordinating producer.
You're a coordinating producer.
Thank you very much.
That's amazing.
Let's make sure.
What does that mean? You
what does
coordinate
that
the
mean?
producers?
It means I'm old. And
Are you in charge of all the producers?
No. Just, it's a good title. It's one higher.
He's the comedy down there. Of all the producers,
That's true.
you like everybody leans on you for the comic relief. But you have like a lengthy career.
I have a career doing a lot of comedy, but right now I am the writer's room. I am the idea.
You are.
I go back.
Gotcha.
Really?
Yeah. So a lot of That's why the show is what it is. It's we're not a comedy show.
And
So.
Access Hollywood's been around a long time.
Yeah. So I've only been there about 6 years, but the show's been around for 25.
So you know what our show's about, right?
About Fazools.
About
We need some Fazools.
about making independent Fazools. Our whole goal here is to inspire people with different guests who do different things in the industry and how they got there. What'd you do? How'd you get there? What did you want to do? And what did you end up doing? How did you get your start in show business? Right now, you're like on Universal Studios lot every day. You're working with the biggest stars in the world.
Mario Lopez.
Yeah, but Mario Lopez and all the guests. How did you get your start, and how did you get to where you're at now?
So it was actually through independent movies. So in New York in the 90s, it was like the height of the independent film. And honestly, I was a theater major, and this woman who was there before me, she's a great producer, Sylvia Cameron, and she did all these independent New York films, and I wanted to meet her. So my buddy was an actor that worked with her, so I called him, and I was like, Jay Bird, call up Sylvia, hook me up. And he goes, great, I'll give you her number, but do not tell Sylvia you got it from me.
How old were you at this point?
I was 22. I couldn't find a waitering job. That was my goal, is to wait tables. I couldn't stick a job. And so finally, he's like, but don't say it's me. So I call her up. And I'm like, Jay Bird gave me your number. He said to call you.
Of course you did right away. How'd you get my number? Jaybird.
Yeah. Come on, man. And then she's like, oh, great. I was like, can I get advice? And she's like, well, I'm actually shooting a spec commercial. Do you want to work for free on the spec commercial as a PA? And I was like, sure, I don't know what that is, but I will do that. And it was on Easter. And like, I couldn't find work. And I had, at the old resort I used to work at, I had a gig there on Easter. So I asked my dad, he's like, oh, you got to do what you got to do. So I canceled the gig, and I knew from the tone of the woman I talked to that I was never going to work there again.
I've been there.
And I was like, oh, this is a moment I have to cut ties with the resort and stay in New York. So I did that commercial for her, and then she hired me again for free doing extra casts. Working in the office for an after-school special that Lauryn Hill was in. And I remember just hanging out with one of the actors. He's like, she's in a band called The Refugees. She's an amazing singer. I'm like, that's a stupid name. No one gives a shit.
Wait, and you were doing extras casting at that point?
No, the next job so that led me to extra casting, and I did that for a movie called States of Control, which a cinematographer wanted to direct. So he figured he can get all the cameras and shoot it on 70 millimeter for the whole thing for $100,000. So he made this film. That was a really cool film. So I did extra casting. I had a big box of headshots. This woman taught me how to, she goes, just put an ad in backstage, and a ton of headshots came in, and I organized them by race and age, and I just pulled them out and called people to come in, and people are nuts. They're like,
they want to be, they just want to be close to it.
Yeah, they want to be into it.
You want to be near it. Like I was, not to make this all about me.
No, go ahead. It's a podcast.
But when I was 18,
pay for parking. Go ahead.
Wait, let me know when it runs out. I'll give you a break.
I'll take that.
When I was 18, I wanted to be somewhere near the business, so I went to Schubert Theater and I signed up to be an usher. And that's sort of how I got my start. But I would go to like Century City, this really clean place every day, and see like theater people, and I ended up doing extras casting just like you. And it all led to extras casting, which the entry point seems to be to everybody in show business. Somehow you were in extras casting when you started. But what was your next gig on
this is kind of
extras
crazy.
casting?
So my buddy John and I had worked on this after school special, and then we worked on this movie together.
And that was a heyday for after school specials, by the way. They were making like
we were towards the end
hundreds of them. Oh, really?
Yeah, the ones during the 80s were filmed in my high school.
Yeah.
I'm in one, by the way. It's called What If I Am Gay? And I play the bully that bumps into the gay guy.
Nice.
You were the bully?
Well, I'm a guy. I'm an extra.
Yeah, you play the extra. That's still important as a featured character.
The feature ones, the tall guys. And
he went to school with Schulman, actually. Didn't you go to school with Schulman?
Yeah, he's a year younger than me.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah.
Did he walk like that when he was in high school?
If I known, I would have taken more pictures of him.
A video or two.
Video was hard to come by, but I would have done it.
So you spent some. How long did you spend in extras casting before you busted out of that?
I did that for that and another couple projects. But so while we were doing extra casting, we had met at a rap party. This woman, Abby Strauss, who was a production coordinator for Michael Moore's TV show that was filming out there. So we just immediately started on her, like, giving her stuff and buying her drinks, hanging out with her, and da-da-da. And so John gets in there first, and every day he calls, and she gives him a job as a PA. And I'm like, fuck. And then I call her, and she's like, I just gave my last PA job. And John comes into work like I got the job. So my dad calls me out of the blue. He was a journalist, like a print journalist. And he's like, I did an interview with Michael Moore. And I was like, oh, he's such a nice guy. And then they had me talk to these women for a minute before he did a shoot. And they were production coordinators or something. I was like, all right. So I call Abby and I leave her a message, say, hey, I'm calling again. And anyway, apparently my dad was there last night, and thank you for being nice to my dad. She calls me back immediately, and she's like, your dad was the coolest guy. Oh, wow. He's so nice. I got something for you. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. So then John comes to work, and he's like...
So nepotism.
Yeah.
Basically
in a weird way. But the reason Michael had him go over there was because he didn't want my dad to see him get makeup. He was too proud to see a man to watch him put makeup on.
So that was an opportunity that just came randomly because you
called every day, and I mentioned my dad, and she's like, oh, I met him. He was nice. So, and then I worked there for a while as a PA. And then I did a bunch of PA work at Saturday Night Live. Those commercials they did, those were like full-on movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I did a couple films.
Wait, who was directing? The commercials were
Jim Saragetti?
Yeah, Jim Saragetti.
Is that right?
Big deal, yeah.
Yeah, big. Oh my God, they were full-on, huge budgets.
Yeah.
We had a lot of money on those things.
Yeah, and Robert Smigel was doing they were doing like little mini bits and shorts, and it was a big deal. The film stuff was a big deal back then.
It was the first time that the new cast was doing something, and it was like Will Ferrell, Sherry O'Terry, who's the guy who's the announcer now, the great impressionist.
Yeah, I can't remember his name.
But anyway, it was all these people that were future stars, and one guy was like really snobby, and he was like, oh, some of Mad TV, but who would ever do that? But that guy, I don't know whatever happened to that guy. He's out.
That's hilarious. And you had a good time doing that work? Probably was awesome.
That was fun.
Yeah.
PA work is fun.
Yeah.
But I had to get out of it. So in New York, it was all like daytime talk shows, like crazy shows. So I worked at Inside Edition with Kit Hoover. was hired while we were there. We're like, why is this woman here? And she was the nicest person.
And she came from sports, so that was interesting.
Yeah, well, she got MTV.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. She came from, what was that show? Was it Road Rules?
Road Rules.
They're like, we hired
Yeah.
the woman from Road Rules. We're like, what
You're
the
like,
hell?
why?
Why? She turned out to be great. They had a young hip spin-off show, and she was on the young
You're
hip show.
reminding me of a time like that. I don't know. Maybe it's still like that. It feels like it's not, though. Like when you were like out there doing stuff and meeting people and PA work and extra work, and there was people calling you left and right, and you were calling people. Like, it just doesn't feel that way anymore.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like people are that connected to production as they were back in the day.
When does that end, do you think?
I don't know.
Ask producer Patrick. I'm sure he has an
Producer
answer.
Patrick
that
will
fucking
know.
guy.
This guy right
Doom and
here.
gloom.
You know what? He's kind of got the shy face all the time.
You should talk to producer Patrick.
Producer Patrick will know. But
I asked him to be on the show. He didn't respond.
He'll
Really?
respond soon. You'll see. He'll
You'll see.
respond.
Yeah, we'll
What is
see.
he doing? Working?
Yeah, he needs the fuzzle. We'll give him a few
There's no
fuzzles.
jobs.
Tell him to come. But I don't know when it ended. It feels like there was a time when you could just, hang around a set and get a job.
Yeah.
And that doesn't feel that way anymore. Like, and you could actually grow and get promoted and do other things, and that doesn't feel that way anymore. I mean, I'm sure someone's doing it somewhere, but it's a hard business.
No one's doing it anymore.
no one's making
Doesn't
that
matter.
happen. Or when you had cameras and $100,000, you can go make a movie and and you made a dent, you made a difference. You like, hey, did you see
Hired
that?
a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like there was a lot of people on that film. Oh, this producer was so amazing. This guy, Matt James, he made a really good movie about a boxer called Mouse. There was a guy, something Mouse Strauss, and he was the #1 worst boxer in the world. And he holds the record for getting knocked out in every continent in the world. And his thing was, he was a tomato can. Like, he just went in there to get knocked out. His shortest bout was 10 seconds. So anyway, Matt would come into States of Control and cut the bagels into 18 like different pieces and put a little bit of cream cheese on each one. He goes, they're not eating the whole bagel.
That's wild.
You're right. It was all about schmoozing. And I don't know when does that
you could
stop.
be on set. People were there was like even now on the studio lot, there was movies in every stage. There was people shooting on the street. Like you literally walk through 3 or 4 movies. And it's just not that way. I used to be a Universal Studios tour guide here, and it was like bumping. Like everywhere you looked, you got to be quiet because
You're just reassuring everything that producer Patrick is saying, right? You're clowning him, and now you're just saying exactly what he
I'm
says.
not clowning them. I'm remembering a time. Like it's starting to be like really apparent that TV took over and they've sort of downsized everything. And independent film. Like look, we just did a short that's probably among the top 5 best shorts made all year, but everyone's made a movie, and now you're in there. You've made like this really beautiful movie on film, great music, great acting, and then you're up against something that was shot like on an iPhone. Like that didn't happen before. You used to have like movies being competing against movies. Now you've got like, I don't know. Last festival we were in, wasn't there like a 30-second movie?
Yeah.
Did you see that movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, never heard of that. So
Right.
it's just an interesting time. Like you can't compare our movie to the 3 movies we're up against, and we get beat by another movie that doesn't have anything, that doesn't even look like ours. So that's something that didn't happen before. All movies sort of were equal. They were all stock cars, all being shot on film. All had the same sort of format and setup, and that's not happening anymore. So it's just a matter of like what you like and what the people that are programming like. But it's a different time, and I think it's going to get better. I mean, it feels like it's all cyclical, right? Eventually,
Sure.
it'll come back in a different way. But it was definitely the heyday when you're walking around talking to people, making phone calls. It felt like $1 million, I'm sure.
Yeah, there was a lot going on. Yeah, I think Sickle has also changed. Like, you can make a movie with your iPhone, but it has to be good. It has to have good audio. It has to have good lighting. It has to have a good plot. So I think then you can compete with other people. And I think just then a big thing was money. Did you have the money to make a movie with film or the skills? So the entry level is easier.
Well, don't you remember Short Ends? Like if you wanted to make a small movie, you just went to the place called Short Ends.
Yeah.
And you bought like whatever was left over from other movies, and you'd make your movie on leftover stuff. But it was still 35 millimeter.
Yeah, it's still like
film.
money. but it was a lot cheaper.
It was a lot cheaper, and you could still do it. But it's a weird time because of that too. You know, like all of a sudden, what was the movie they made that was all shot like a video camera? It was a horror.
Blair Witch.
Well, Blair Witch. Okay, yeah. Then you had Blair Witch that changed everything.
Yeah, but then you have to make first of all, that's a great movie, and second of all, you have to make the conceit work. You know, like what's the other one? Paranormal? Or the one
Paranormal Activity.
Yeah. So
but no, there was another one. There was a big movie that they made where the movie was entirely shot from the point of view of a video camera.
It was
High Eight?
a monster movie. It was
High Eight.
High 8 was too. Yeah, so
the same director.
That started changing stuff a little bit, but
Cloverfield.
Yeah, and then they made a Cloverfield too. The sad part about when you talk about a film like Blair Witch is that, you know, now 30 years later they're coming out and saying that they didn't make any money and
that's bullshit.
They didn't have anything to do with the sequel.
No, I know it's true. I know the actor. Michael and I went to acting school together.
No way.
We were in a play together, and he goes, "Hey, I just shot this movie, Blair Witch," and we were like laughing, and I go, "Wouldn't it be hilarious if it opened?" And he's like, "No one's gonna see it." I go, "Our buddy lives in Amsterdam. Wouldn't it be great if he saw it?" And he goes, "No one's gonna see this movie. It was shot on video. I did the audio." Yeah, the actors got screwed.
I think the filmmakers did too.
No, the filmmakers are millionaires.
Oh, really?
They drive to their compound to do shit. Yeah,
shut up.
Yeah, I don't know why, because the actors shot it and they improvised it, and he did the audio. So like.
And she had a little moco, and that went on. Went on to be for the rest of her life. It's like,
wait, so the distributor made the money, or
the distributor made a deal with the 3 filmmakers. So the filmmakers kind of took all.
They weren't the actors. The filmmakers were the actors.
And,
really?
And they had I'm talking out of school, but I just.
Well, you had your buddy who was on it.
Yeah, I know, but I don't want to put him on blast. But this is what they were saying in the thing. And they were also, when they did interviews, they wanted to make it look like they were real people, but they're real actors.
Yeah.
So I don't know how it helped their career, you know.
I don't think it did help their career.
Yeah.
But I know that
the
they went on.
Yeah. I was trying to be diplomatic.
They went on. They went on to make different versions of that, like Blair Witch 2, Blair Witch 3, then whatever series they did, and they weren't part of that.
No.
So that's kind of a weird thing in Hollywood. I mean, I don't know. It happens a little bit when you take someone like George Lucas and give him, I don't know, $4 billion for his company, and then go make Star Wars without him. That's that's bizarre. I don't understand that. I don't get why that happens.
And it turns out that people don't like it, and you're shocked. Like you're
like, well, we shut the guy who created it out, but why don't you like? why don't, it's part of you liking the stuff.
We had the
right?
robots and the beep boops and the fling flangs
and the gay aliens. Nobody liked the gay aliens.
The R2D2.
They're gay aliens. Oh, come on.
They call them gay aliens.
Gay aliens. There's the comedy producer right there. I'm telling you, he's good.
Funniest guy in news.
Funniest guy in news. I like that.
And what was next? What was the big break?
Well, I came out here. I used to shoot stuff on my own. We did a show called Tools of the New School. It was on public access, but we shot like 5 or 6 episodes. But we would do pranks on people in New York. Mm-hmm. So we did. We went on the subway, and AJ was dressed in a tuxedo, and he walked around giving people food as part of Giuliani's Improving New York Better. Then he flipped around and he took out a book, and he arrested everyone for eating and gave them tickets for eating on the thing. And they were so mad, like, you just gave me the food. He goes, what are you talking about? So we would do shit like that, and we did a big parade on Halloween parade, and we did People for Giuliani. I mean, it was all political stuff. People for Giuliani. It was really people they screwed over, like strippers for Giuliani. They shut down all the strip clubs, and we had women dancing. And we had cops for Giuliani, which the cops fucking loved. They just let us.
That sounds way too good for public access.
It was great.
Sounds like it'd be great right now with all the prank stuff that happens now.
It was a political prank show that would come in your city to kind of take it over. So the guy, we were rep by Don Buchwald Company for a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Sure.
And it was the guy who became a friend of mine. He was Howard Stern's guy for his stuff. So we were like waiting on Howard, and I was like, nah. So we moved on, but we shot a bunch of episodes of that. So I was doing stuff on my own and doing. I did a live game show every week at a comedy club.
Look at fucking Speigelman.
Eventually, 10 years later, we sold as something else, but. So I was doing my own stuff, and that was like my goal, was just to have a job and then do my own stuff. Right. And then I got offered a job out in L.A. to do a really important show called Divorce Court. So I totally took a side turn in my career, and I was stuck in court shows for a while.
It was good money though.
Yeah, for me at the time, I had no money. It was 0 to something. Yeah. And a producer. So I was telling you before that I just thought if I had a producer title, then I can just walk in somewhere else, being like, oh, he produced Divorce Card. Well, then he definitely should be producing Saturday Night
It's
Live.
the reverse. The more you produce, the less they want to hire you.
Yeah, they're like, well, that's all you do. I couldn't get out of court shows. I interviewed for one of the daytime conflict show called Talk or Walk, where the girl's like, at the end, does she want to stay with her boyfriend or leave him? And they're like, you only did court shows. I was like, it's the same show. It's the same idea. And they're like,
different script, no?
Yeah, I just got mad and left it. But so I got out of that. I quit. I finally quit. I got a job working for Kirstie Alley. Had a talk show out of her house. And it was awesome. She was so creative, and she wanted to shoot. The idea was her kids go to school and she's gonna have a party.
She had a room full of lemurs, dude.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They weren't there when I was there, or maybe I didn't see them.
She
had
had
a big koi pond.
I remember the koi because Mario had to interview her, so we went there, and she had literally a bedroom full of monkeys and like with cages and shit. And we went in there. It was a trip. Yeah, she was cool though.
She was really nice, right?
Yeah. Her
really
place
smart.
was nice.
Place was awesome.
Yeah.
But it was. So I thought it was going to be a huge hit. And then years later, I talked to an executive at ABC. She's like, it came out like crap. But it was such a crazy show, and she was so inventive. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. So I quit to do that. And then I did some reality shows, and then I got on Kimmel.
Wait a minute, but Kimmel, what year? But wait, when did you work on the Ben Stiller show?
Oh, I didn't. That was Joanne who worked on the Ben Stiller show.
You didn't work on the Ben Stiller show?
No.
Oh, we'll cut that out.
Yeah. No, leave it. I'll take it. I left that to do court shows.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But Kimmel's a big deal. So that was when he started his talk show.
Yeah. So, that would change everything. So, in high school, I did stand-up, and I was friends with Jay Moore. Mm-hmm. Shout out. And I was going to interview with Robert Morton. Do you know him? He was the EP for Letterman. And I was going to interview him for something else. And I talked to Jay, and I was like, hey, Jay, if you can put in a good word with Robert, because he was producing his show. And the next day, my agent gets a call, and they're like, I don't know. They're like, ABC called, and they said, I don't know what happened, but Robert wants to meet with your client directly. I was like, because I was going to get a bullshit meeting.
Yeah.
And so I met with Robert. He's a cool guy. And I guess he came to LA, and he got a list of all the producers he met with, and he wrote yes or no next to him. And next to mine, he put yes, human interest, because I was selling that I know real people.
Yeah.
So Daniel Callison was producing Kimmel. He asked for that list, or if he knew anyone, he gave him the list, and my name had yes by it. So I got a call from Daniel out of the blue. My friend was like, "You'll just call them," and I called them, and they're like, "We're looking for you." His assistant was like, "I was about to look you up." So I interviewed there, and I got it as a human interest producer.
That's awesome. By the way, we usually talk about that a lot, right? Like the idea that you talk to people, you meet people, you drop off a resume, and then you don't want to call because you're like, oh, I don't want to bother people. But then you make the phone call, and they're like, oh my God, I was just about to call you. I was just thinking about you. So it makes a difference. Like, make the call. Sometimes you got to just make the call, don't you think?
Yeah.
Just make the call.
Why not?
Call people up. So then you started working for Kimmel, and there's your comedy opportunity, right?
Yeah, so I did human interest in real people. The guy who ate 20,000 Big Macs, or people hand balancers, and the world's oldest this, the world's youngest. The Steve Harvey stuff.
Yeah.
Who I had to give all my stuff to you, Steve Harvey.
Was that before or after?
Madeline was doing
Steve Harvey
show and Steve Harvey, and they're like, just give everything to Madeline.
Oh, right. Yeah.
We booked this kid, this PA is like, hey, he was always a pain in the ass, but he's like, my 3-year-old nephew knows everything about wrestling. He's better than anything you book. He's a real dick. And I go, all right, let's see some tape on your fucking nephew. He was awesome.
The kid was awesome?
Yeah, he was awesome. And Daniel was like so smart. He's like, well, wait till we have the right person. We had Triple H. So the kid comes out, and he fucking hates Triple H. His 3-year-old punches Triple H on TV because he's so mad. And we quizzed him. And anyway, he got booked on your show on Steve Harvey. Okay. And I'm out drinking, and this girl's like, oh, yeah, I'm a producer on Steve Harvey. And I was like, oh, yeah, I get a lot of people. She goes, yeah. And when I found that wrestling kid, and I was like, bullshit.
You didn't find him?
You didn't find shit. Yeah, so I worked in Kimmel, and then I did Real People, and then I also did a live cabaret show in Hollywood. We had a lot of great celebrities who come in and sing, and we had weird acts and burlesque dancers, and we did that for about 4 years.
Wait, was that, did that show go to Vegas too?
No, but the same idea. That guy was, I wouldn't actually. I turned that guy down for our show.
Oh, you did? What was
Yeah.
his name? Not Jimbo. No, it was like
Cajillionaire. Oh, you talking about Madhouse? Beecher's Madhouse?
Beechers. It wasn't Beechers?
It was a ripoff of Beecher's.
Oh, it was a okay.
I got a tape from Beecher's, and I was like, "This is terrible." It was like all audience doing audience warm up stuff,
Right.
And he was doing like shirtless competitions and like singing competitions. I was like, "Well, where's the acts?"
Yeah.
So I called my buddy Russell, and I was like, "We got to do our own show. We can do this." And he was connected everywhere, so we had a lot of great celebrities, and a lot of great people came to see the show. A lot of famous people, so that was fun.
Nice.
So I did that on the. That was like another thing. I think on the side is the lesson.
A big deal, yeah.
Yeah, because that's where it comes out. So then I moved from human interest to doing celebrities on Kimmel. Yeah. And that was a lot, and that's what I've been doing ever since. And that's what I do on Access, really.
And now you're on Access Hollywood. How long have you been on Access Hollywood?
6 years.
6 years.
Yeah, long enough to get the fancy title.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, it's an incredible show. I mean, you guys have. Do you work on both shows? Because there's Access Daily and there's Access Hollywood.
Technically, I do.
Yeah.
But I don't. They use.
That means you take a check from both.
No, I barely take a check from one, but they can use it for both.
Yeah.
I was hired for both, and I was told that my credit would be on both. But
Oh, good.
I don't really look. I'm sure it's not. I'm sure it's not.
You guys do a lot of interesting cat videos and stuff about blowing like cheese onto burritos or pasta.
Are you fucking with me?
A little bit,
yeah. I mean, it is what it is.
That's not entertaining.
Robert's
listen.
got turned down. He's all butthurt.
Yeah,
he
is
got
that what
turned
happened?
down for something, and he got all. And then just so happened to be that day, there was a stupid thing we did where like, you know those little blowers that whoo, you blow in the thing, and they put cheese, shredded cheese, and you blow it out.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
he got turned down, and he's sitting there, and he's all sad. And then that comes out. He looks over at me. He's like, "Really? That's what I got replaced for?"
No,
You got bumped for the cheese.
Yeah, one of the
blower.
producers came in and said like, I mentioned this celebrity that I thought should be on the show, and they were like, God, no one even knows who that is. And I was like, oh, okay. And then we come out and they're blowing cheese onto
or these cat videos.
cat videos of a cat jumping.
Well, I'm sorry, person.
That's
Try
all right.
J-Hud. Try the talk.
Dude, J-Hud in the walk, that's a big deal. Do you know what that is? Like when everyone walks
The
out
spirit
and start
walk?
dancing,
The spirit walk.
That's
Yeah,
like,
yeah, it's huge.
it's viral now.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
You do one thing.
Yeah, I know where. Yeah, there's
Let's
a lot
go,
of people have a lot
Fazils.
of
Think
time.
of something like that.
We could blow cheese in the hallway.
Yeah.
We did
Blow
the
cheese
blow
on
cheese thing.
celebrities.
Yeah, I don't know what
blow
else
cheese
you
and
want.
throw cats in the air. There you go.
Imagine blowing cheese at our guests. Yeah.
We like fun. It's fun.
It's entertainment. It's entertainment.
So,
Yeah, they come covered in
so
cheese.
you've had a really nice career, but like, is that what you wanted to do with your life? Like when you started, were you thinking I'm gonna be a producer, or were you thinking, like, what were you thinking? Like we all have like an idea of where we're gonna end up. Like, is this where you thought you'd be?
I didn't know where it was going to be. I knew I wanted to be a producer, but I didn't know what it meant. And then, do I want to be a producer or a writer? And I would go back and forth. And then, yeah, I'm happy with what I do. I really enjoy what I do, and intellectually, I try,
Everyone likes you. I know that.
well, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
But you were like, man, come on.
Well, he needs
How dare you?
Fazils,
I
see?
need the
He needs-
Fazils.
he
I
needs-
have 2 kids, and yeah.
Do you? You
Yeah,
have 2
yeah.
kids? You have a family and 2 kids? Wow, that's amazing.
He's my neighbor. He
Yeah,
lives
we
out
live,
by
we
me.
live way out by Ventura.
Really?
Yeah, almost Northern California.
This is a big, very Hollywood story, but Tootie had his house done by the. Can we mention it?
I mean, where it's being done right now. It's
Yeah,
not
but you
done.
work in entertainment, and then a TV show is fixing up your kitchen or something like that.
Yes,
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah. Well,
This
it's not
is-
just my kid. I don't know. It's
Is it more than the kitchen?
It's the kitchen and I think another room, but I'm not sure.
You
That's
gotta watch the show to figure it out.
Yeah,
but
but
dude,
it's
that's the most Hollywood shit I've ever heard of.
Well, that's what I was thinking to my wife. I was like, we had to redo our backyard. And I was like, well, why don't I just put it out there and see if there's anyone doing a show
Yeah.
that would pay for
You
it?
did not.
And she was like, no. I don't want people in my house.
No,
I
you-
would totally do
You know
it.
what's
Yeah.
funny is we did something last week, and somebody was asking, like just a person, and they said, yeah, you can go to the Property Brothers or HGTV, the website, and you could submit your. I didn't do that. You can go and you submit your stuff, and they look at it, and then it's not for free though. I'm getting all my stuff taken care of. Like you have to pay a
Well, in
percentage.
your situation, it'd be weird. It's like a gift.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
gift. Yeah,
it's
yeah.
a gift.
You
Yeah,
get hit
to
with
pay
the bill
for it.
after. By the way, here you go.
But you're right. It doesn't happen like that. My wife's involved in like, remodeling shows and stuff like that. And I told her about it, and she was like, "Oh, so what he's got to pay like $50,000 or something." I said, "I don't think so," because every show she does, like the people have to come up with, they have to buy the property, in one of the cases, and also put up $50,000, and then the show puts up the rest and designers and all that stuff. But to get it for I guess some shows, if they're big enough, they pay for everything. But
No, but isn't it still cheaper to do it like with
Of
your
course.
wife's show, like for $50,000?
yeah, I mean, also you get some publicity, and if they're going to sell it eventually, they'll be like, "Oh, I was on this show. You can see it to see what we did and how we built it and stuff." But it's an interesting biz. I mean, and they're still doing the building shows and cooking shows seem to be like number one, and now everything else that was reality is dead. But ask producer Bob.
Producer Patrick, dude.
But all right, my beef with producer Patrick, like he's not wrong, but what is the solution? Like to go on because I see he pops up my TikTok all the time.
Oh, you watch him too?
Yeah, he's like, oh, listen. Because a year ago he was very upbeat and very like,
He
hey,
was.
I'm doing the Bachelor and I'm on this show and da-da. But I think just to come on and be like, and then local news has him on. And he says
Oh,
the same
did
thing.
it? Did it really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he's a big star now.
he's a big star.
I
Maybe
thought I
he's
found
tired now.
somebody.
He's
Wait,
tired.
what was he
tired.
on? What was he on?
Local news, like
Oh.
and they talk to him. But yeah, I just feel like what's the solution? Where do you find job? Can you give us more job boards? Can you create a job board? Can you do something to help? You know what I mean? Like instead of just saying, oh, there's no work and all these people. Yes, there's no work.
We know that.
We know that.
We live here.
Now help me.
We're starving. Help us out.
Well, so you're talking about independent film and how it's changing. I just interviewed an actress coming on our show next week, and she did independent film. Like I was her first thing, and that blew her up in the independent film world. So she's like, all I did was independent film, and it was great. Then it dried up, and then the people from independent film started doing cool shit for HBO, and then she got cast on the cool shit. And now she's on network because at some point you're like, I got to make money. But they go somewhere. Like people go somewhere. And if you know them and you remind them who you are and you were cool to begin with, then, I mean, that was my biggest thing as a PA is I would call people and they'd be like, this just came up. Or I can't believe you called. I was just thinking about somebody. And that was the only reason was because I was persistent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now I'm
That's
lazy.
how it happens. And
I
now
think
you're
you have
lazy.
I think you have to stay on top of it. But it's fun to talk to you because you bring back a time that was, God, man, I used to, when I first started, I remember they'd pass around like underground tapes, and they'd be like, hey, did you guys see like, the first tape I ever saw that was like this underground thing was Blair Witch. We all like snuck into a room and saw like the Blair Witch before it came out. And it was pretty interesting. But then the next year it was Saw. And Saw was a 15-minute short. And I remember seeing Saw, the 15-minute short, and going like, holy shit, this is like the coolest thing I've ever seen, like horror-wise. And we tried to get a hold of those guys, and by the time we even called, they were like already at a deal at Lionsgate before this movie even came out, which also went to Sundance, I think. But that was the time. Like I don't feel like that happens anymore. Like, hey, check out this new movie. Like, you can't hand anyone a tape anymore. Now you just go on YouTube, and everyone saw it already, and it doesn't matter.
Because that's it. They saw it on YouTube. Like,
Yeah,
there is no
50
next
million
step.
people just watched it. Well, I was supposed to get a deal out of that. You weren't supposed to show anybody.
Well, where do you show it next? Movie theater? No one goes to that?
Yeah.
Like, sorry.
Well,
Streamer, they don't give you any money.
Right.
and just I don't even want to get into it.
Well, there's comedians who are releasing specials on YouTube or
Right.
shows on YouTube.
Right.
There was one I don't want to name, but the guy was saying, oh, yeah, he made less money on this big streamer for his special.
Oh, then he did releasing it himself.
Yeah, but he's like, a new audience found him. So
Yeah.
people around the world found him, and they'll help, I guess, his next YouTube special.
Yeah, it matters. Did you get Made in Mexico onto Tubi yet?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
And it-
It's on
Oh.
Tubi. It's on a bunch of
Oh,
them.
that's too bad. I could have got you on Tubi.
Well, you're on TV.
I'm already there.
And then a
Is
direct
on.
deposit. That's
Good.
what you got to do. If you're
What is
listening, if you make a movie, go to Tubi yourself, and then they'll deposit whatever you make into your account instead of it going to a distributor, and then they go like, oh, you didn't make any money.
You could
this
pull it.
quarter. Promo it again. Change the poster. Promo it again.
Made in Mexico.
with an accent. You might.
Actually, the distributor changed my poster anyways. The new poster sucks.
Go back to the old one and re-release it.
Yeah, I could actually.
That's
But-
the funny thing about B movies. They'll re-release the VHS of like two different, the same movie but a different box.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's great. There's a movie called Killer Workout.
Yeah.
And it's also called Aerobicide.
It's
Both
the same
of those
movie.
names are
Yeah,
awesome.
they both have like a hot woman,
Yeah.
in a shower or something, or in this workout gear.
Yeah.
Yeah, same movie, same
Yeah.
exact. The title's the same in the movie. Like whatever the original title was, it's still in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a young guy.
take it.
You've had a pretty long career, but like now that you have a family and stuff, do you just think like I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing, or do you actually have like a dream of doing like a variety show or Saturday Night Live kind of thing? Like, do you have like other dreams?
It's funny you say, yeah. So part of me is just like I have this job, let's ride until the wheels fall off and have kids. My wife is very encouraging to do something else on top
That's
of
good.
this, and I would like to do a variety show. So I don't know. Again,
Nice.
I don't. Yeah, you get in this point. We live in suburbia. Like, where is the outlet? Because before, when I lived in the city, I knew all these theaters I can do shit in. So when you can do some cool stuff. So I have to figure that out. But that would be a goal before I
Well,
finish.
you're sitting right next to the opening comic at Way Out Loud last week, who has a
That's true.
connection
Yeah.
to the Laugh Factory. That would be a
What?
perfect venue.
Let me tell you this.
Make him a
Off
producer.
record, there wouldn't be any way allowed without.
That's true.
That's right. You're the
That's
man.
true.
Did you go to Way Out Loud?
I did not.
Oh, you got to go.
I
So anyway,
do.
let's congratulate Davey Dave
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
coming up.
Thank you.
Stepping
Yeah,
up,
yeah.
being the opening comic on Way Out Loud. And by the way, I know you. I know you're a good actor. I didn't know you were a comedian. I was not expecting you to be as great as you were. You were very funny.
Thank you.
You had a very
It's
funny,
almost a compliment.
funny bit.
It's
You had a very
almost
funny bit. You had a lot of people laughing, and you looked natural and comfortable up there. which
People
was
tripped
so
out
weird.
on you because you're so quiet, and then you went up there. They were afterwards. They're like, "Dude, I didn't know he could talk like that."
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah."
Didn't I say that?
Yeah,
I
I don't
said
talk
that.
to anyone.
Right.
You know me. I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah.
keeping to myself. But he called me the next day, actually, give my flowers. Thank you so much. He said, "Hey, man, that was great." And I told him, "Yeah, there's only a couple of things that I'll turn on for. Is either the comedy stage or
women.
or from the camera." Oh,
Yeah. Three.
or women. I'm
Yeah,
joking.
but you were seamless. It's hard to do, man. It's not easy to go up there.
it was
and-
very daunting, bro. But
Yeah.
But we told you we were going to pull a Max Cady anyways.
Right,
like
right,
I was
right.
going to be like De Niro in Cape Fear regardless.
You're going to be like Stearns and me at the reading of our script.
Yes, that was so fucking annoying. David Dave came out. He said, "Hey, welcome!" And Davey Dave.
Welcome.
My
He
name's
said
Davey
welcome.
Dave.
Yeah.
It was good stuff, though. It was
I
a
didn't
lot
need
of
to
fun.
though, Davey Dave, because your
Thank
jokes
you.
hit.
Thank you. Thank you.
But you were one of the funniest guys that night. I thought you could have headlined that thing. Next time.
I'll get
Next
crazy.
time.
You took a
time,
really
next
big going out first. That's like a really big
Yeah,
thing.
it's tough.
And you
Took a
weren't
bullet.
you weren't nervous though. Your voice wasn't shaking. Nothing.
No.
You were all
I
good.
was nervous 5 minutes before, but as soon as I hit that stage and I saw my boy Concrete up there,
Well,
it's
you
all
got
good.
you got a lot of you got a lot of nerve going. No, you got a lot of guts going up there. I could never stand in front of anyone like that and do jokes, man.
How did you prepare for it?
Well, that's the thing. You have to prepare. You have to prepare. That's the biggest thing that I've noticed if you want to do any type of comedy. Like, it's got it. Unless you're one of those guys that you can just roll stories. See, but I don't see. The thing with me is, like, I don't have a family. I don't have kids. I don't do that. Everybody kind of relates to that, but I don't. I don't have that shit. So I have to write something that I say, it's got to be relatable. So what I do also, like, I used to write a bunch of memes all the time and that kind of thing. So that's just been in my blood for
You know what? That's
ever.
a funny bit right there. Talk about people with kids. Oh, you have kids? Awesome.
Yeah. Well, I do have stuff similar to that,
Set
but I
up,
need
coming?
I need to develop it.
That would be really funny.
Yeah, but
'Cause
see,
they
what
would
I'm
appreciate
doing now is, like, every time I go on stage, I'm doing something new. So, like, none of these jokes have been said before. And so, like, everything's new. So, that's just the nature of the beast.
And you could be like, oh, you have kids. How old are they? 17, 20. Oh, so let me guess. Anxiety, didn't finish school. all the
Very true.
stuff. All
Yep.
the stuff. But yeah, you were amazing.
Thank you.
You got to go next time, Pazules.
Yes. It was at 10 o'clock, though. I couldn't babysit that late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised. How old are your kids?
18 and 20. I don't trust those fuckers. I haven't paid the house off.
You couldn't get a babysitter.
No,
but you
they're
should come
7
out.
and 10.
I didn't want. Oh, 7 and 10.
They could stay home, double digits. What's the matter with you?
I didn't want to go out at 10 anyway, but when I got there, I was happy.
You were jazzed.
I was
You
happy
were-
to be out.
yeah.
It was also like 5 minutes from my house. So.
Dick. Took me an hour to get home.
Right.
But for
Lord.
you, we're
Yeah.
gonna be looking for a variety show someday, something original and unique in the future, and hopefully the business opens up. I mean, look, there's a lot of building to do on this streamer thing, because cable's going away eventually, and producer Patrick will tell you. But you know, there's gonna be a lot of openings. Hopefully, we'll see you do something great. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you
That
guys.
was great.
Thank you guys. Really.
Thanks, Fazuls, for coming by
Fazuls.
finally.
Where are my Fazuls?
Yeah, see you on Access Hollywood.
See?
See? He wants some Fazuls.
He wants some Fazuls.
Fazuls.
See?
Wait, no Fazuls?
No Fazuls for this.
Oh, bullshit.